Hey, Dale, your librarian here. I wanted to talk to you about how to use keywords because in this day and age of AI and artificial and cookies and histories and all sorts of stuff, a lot of our searches kind of happen automatically, but in the library databases they don't. So here's some tips on how to do that. First thing, why is it when I type in Mexican food in Google, why does it know where I am, what language I speak, and where to find some great stuff near me? I'll have to try these. Um, so Google will look at, and I'm looking at notes over here, Google will view your physical location or guess by your IP address. It's going to look at your history via cookies, so it'll know like some of your search preferences and a variety of different data points. I won't go into that. It'll detect your search language. So if you type in Mexican food in English, obviously it knows what language to give your search results. And it uses a cool thing in AI on the background where it will incorporate synonyms and related terms, people, places that are statistically related, or restaurants, or things like that. So it'll kind of guess what you're looking for. So if I type in instead Mexican grub, I'm still getting Mexican restaurants. But if you go to the library databases, we don't have that for a couple of reasons. One, we can't look at your cookies or your history or your internet address or anything like that. So that's why you have to log in here, because we don't know if you belong to us unless you log in. Nor do we keep records of things like that. If you type something in on your browser side, it'll save these, because that's just saving it on the browser side of cookies. But on the library side, we don't save anything. We can't use anything like that. But it also helps us have reproducible search results. So if you type in a particular search string, then send that search to your professor, they will get the exact same results. Reproducibility is a big deal. So how they do that, though, is if you look for something, it's not going to check your spelling. So if you misspell Justin Bieber, it's only going to look for the journalists who misspelled Justin Bieber. How embarrassing that there's 6 people that did that. So if you put the I and the E, so spelling counts because the databases are only looking at the characters that you put in. So if you put in Korean characters, Arabic characters, if you put something in French or Italian, it's looking for those words stuck together. How do we come up with keywords, though, when we're in a database is another part of why I'm here. So let's go to databases, and let's go to psychology, and I'll show you a couple of ways. So the PsycInfo, this is definitely like a text-only or keywords-only database. And let's go to advanced search. If I go out to the open web and I want to find out what it means to feel like a carnivore or a meat eater or a meat consumer, I would go out to the open web and I might type in burger eater. What happens if I put that in here? It's going to be like, well, we're going to look for an article that says, that looks for eater and burger, and hopefully this is what you're looking for, but it can't access all that other information. So we have to put in keywords that might relate to what we're looking for. So I'm going to just go back to burger. Eating a plant-based burger makes me feel proud and cool. That's really great. All of a sudden we have something like other keywords that you can look in the titles. This is how the librarian does it too. So we see like there's vegan, there's food evoked devotions, plant-based meat. There's all sorts of keywords in here. I love the title of that one. So what I did is I found all these other keywords. You can also go in, if you're not finding what you're looking for, you can go to subject. And you can see, what are people talking about? Rats, birds, symptoms. I'm looking for maybe populations. This is a hot mess because we're only, oh, there's fast food. There, I found one. But you could look for keywords that you're interested in that are related to your topic. But the database doesn't know. It's just putting them in order of like what shows up with burger. So I'm going to add words that I found. And if it goes in, if it's more than one word, you have to put it into quotes. Meat consumption, or meat burger, or meat preference. These are just the words that the authors have used. I'm going to get rid of burger. Let's do other guesses. Carnivore. I got to misspell it. Carnivore. Carnivore. Now, instead of looking for burger, it's looking kind of, we get some of the similar ones, but then there's like behavior, there's protests, there's meat consumption, there's diet. So we have like the social, we have the quantitative, meat consumption perceptions. This gets closer and closer. Every time you make a search, it's looking based on your keywords, and this gives you ideas to dig further and further in. Another thing you can do is you can add a second line and say, I'm interested in emotion or feelings. How do I feel about that burger? Or depression, or willingness, or expectations. So I'm interested in how people feel about this. Do you note over here there's this and? So these are all synonyms and related terms for people who eat meat, or meat that's presented in like a consumer. And then this is how people feel. You see how that's broken down? I think this is a good one because it keeps on showing up at the top. Okay, you get the idea. Let's look at another way of gathering keywords. If you're familiar with like some of the AI tools like ChatGPT and Gemini, you can ask them for keywords too. So here I asked, what are keywords related to vegetarianism? And here it'll give you, plant-based diet, lacto, ovo, all those things, a flexitarian. And then there's like practices, challenges, things that folks eat. And you could ask the same question. You could type in vegan. Here's the cool thing that Gemini does in particular. I haven't tested this with other ones. But if I don't know anything about a topic and I can't suggest these keywords, say for example, I was doing something related to Jonestown. Jonestown is a cult-related disaster where many people died. I could just type in Jonestown keywords, and it'll give me these ideas. And it's using all of those synonyms and related terms that it was doing in the search, but instead of giving us web pages, it's giving us keywords. So here we have charismatic leadership, utopian ideals. These are things I never would have thought of. But instead of getting the whole article, I can use this, and I can go back into my psychology database and get scholarly, evidence-based materials on the effects of charismatic leadership. See how that works? If you run stuck on anything, this is Dale, your librarian. I'm happy to help.